Meanwhile, in fact, Iran can now be expected to be on the agenda of the U.S. Foreign Minister Mike Pompeo's talks in New Delhi next week. Washington says that Pompeo will seek New Delhi's continued cooperations to keep the pressure on Iran. India has stopped buying oil from Iran, but it has been in talks with the U.S. to preserve an exemption from U.S. sanctions for the Chabahar port it is developing in Iran. Pompeo arrives in New Delhi on Tuesday for talks that are aimed at laying the ground for a meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi later on the margins of the G20 summit in Japan next week. India's Oil Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has expressed concerns about rising crude oil prices to his Saudi Arabian counterpart Khalid Al-Falih on Friday amid worsening U.S.-Iran tensions. Global oil prices rose sharply on fears of a U.S. military attack on Iran that would disrupt flows from West Asia, which provides more than a fifth of the world's oil output. Pradhan told Falih by telephone that he wanted Saudi Arabia to play an active role to keep oil prices at a reasonable level. Pompeo's visit, in fact, will take place at a time of increasing frictions between the U.S. and India over trade, data flows and arms from Russia. A U.S. official told a journalist in Washington ahead of Pompeo's visit to New Delhi that it is urging India to forego the import of S-400 missile defense system from Russia. Remember, India has signed a $5 billion contract with Russia for the procurement of the 5 S-400 squadrons. The U.S. official says Washington is encouraging India to quote-unquote look at alternatives. Buying the surface-to-air missile system from Russia can trigger U.S. sanctions under the Countering American Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, also known as CAATSA. India has also been hoping for a waiver, but that has not been forthcoming. Meanwhile, the U.S. official has clarified that U.S. has no plans to cap the H-1B work visa for Indians and that the ongoing review of the H-1B visa program is not targeted at India. Some media reports had suggested the possibility of U.S. restrictions on work visas for Indian professionals in retaliation for India's insistence on local data storage by big foreign firms. Now, trade is expected to be a big focus of Pompeo's visit. Remember that Trump has repeatedly criticized India for its high tariffs and last month raised the stakes with the withdrawal of a decades-old trade privilege. The Indo-Pacific is an area of cooperation between India and the U.S. Already, officials from the U.S., India, Japan and Australia have met 4 times since 2017 to coordinate their positions on peace and security in the Indo-Pacific. They have met most recently in Bangkok last month. The U.S. official says that India is a crucial partner in the Trump's government vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific region. India and U.S. are gearing up for their first ever tri-service military exercises in the Bay of Bengal later this year. Expanding security, energy and space cooperation would be also on the agenda of Pompeo's visit to India.